we are. Spring ball is tough to tell just because obviously you're going against the same guys every day, and it's a little frustrating sometimes. They know most of our plays and the snap count and calls and all that, so it gets tough. But I think our guys they've obviously bought into our system, and we're getting better every day. These young guys, we've been harping on, man, you guys got to be ready to go because there's going to be, you think, oh, we got all spring, all summer, all fall, but it happens fast.
To this incredibly untrained eye, it looks like Chad really has picked up his play in the spring. Have you noticed the same?
Yeah, he just keeps getting better. I mean, he keeps on making good plays, and hopefully that'll keep going.
How important is it year to year to have your quarterback coming back like Chad is for this fall?
Well, it's always nice. You saw Bo. We had him back 2 years after his first year, and he kept getting better. I think, if you were in the NFL and you could keep a guy for 12, 15 years, it'd be fun. But our profession, we know it's only going to be a year or two. We're lucky with Bo to get 3 out of him and get 2 out of Chad.
What have you noticed from the young receivers, DeMarcus and Van?
Those guys, they'll make some really great plays at times, and you just see they got so much talent. And, when you get going real fast, sometimes it's tough on them, but I think those guys are going to be right there with the rest of the crew soon.
Dan, it hadn't been publicized much, but you're trying to replace 7 starters. That's not an easy thing to do.
No, it's not. And, obviously we have high expectations here, and we built that on ourselves by winning, more games each year, it seems like. But, it's going to be a lot tougher this year. Everybody's out to get us now, and losing Laquan and Laramie, obviously 2 of the best players who ever played here. Not to mention 5 other starters and some other guys that played a lot. So it is going to be tough, but like I said, in college football, that's going to happen from year to year, and you've got to be ready for it. And these young guys that we've recruited got to step up.
When you work with a young player like Van, who's got the NFL background kind of with his dad coming in, what did you notice and how he was different maybe from younger receivers coming in?
I think he probably understood schemes better than most, and route running, obviously. He'd been coached when he was young. But, we do so much different stuff than probably what he's used to. It's a little different, but he definitely came in ahead of most freshmen.
Where is he mentally in terms of learning the playbook and the offense?
He knows the scheme. The thing is, there's 2 levels. First, you've got to learn the plays. Then you have to learn, okay, I know this is what I'm running, but now how do I run it versus this defense, and that's where a lot of guys are still at that point.
Can you kind of tell us what you've seen out of Shea and Jason so far this spring?
I'm really pleased with both of them. They've picked it up. They're sort of in the same way what I was talking about with the young receivers. They know on this route, this is my progression, but now, okay, the corner played a little bit differently this time, so I should have thrown it here, whereas last time was the same coverage, but he played it this way, and I would have thrown it there. Again, that's just reps. You got to get a lot of reps. And I will say this, last year at this time, Chad was sort of slow, not slow learning it, but he wasn't close to where he was by the season. Mm-hmm. So, spring ball is big, learning it, but then in the summer is when they really hone it up.
Have you guys settled on which side of the ball you like? Alex and Jeremy, I think you were rotating them earlier at tackle. Where do they fit?
We're just going to play them and see where they fit in. It depends on how things go in the summer and when we get guys in for the fall camp.
What do you think?
Both of them could play either side, though.
What do you think of what you've seen from them in spring?
I like them. They're both big, athletic guys that seem to be picking it up pretty well.
When Fadal is with you guys defensively and he's healthy as the offensive coach, what do you see trying to block him when he's healthy and playing well?
Well, he's just such a good player. He'd be one that if we were game planning and we said, all right, we need to slide the protection towards him and make sure we get him blocked. So he's that type of player, I think.
Your run game is such a point of emphasis last spring. This spring, you still emphasizing it pretty good?
No doubt. To win championships, you've got to be able to run the football. So we really hammered it. We put in a couple of new formations, we did the same thing last year, and we thought it really helped. So we've got a few more that we think will help us get it downhill a little bit better. We'll just see how it works.
You seem to have more physical backs this year.
We've definitely had more guys run over defenders than we have probably in the last 4 years combined. and we're excited about that. It's nice when you call a play on 3rd and 3 and you feel like you can hand it off. You know, it just seemed like we've always had sort of scat backs, and we love the backs we had, but they weren't the type that you could just hand it off and you know they're gonna run over people and get you 3 yards.
Has that been in